Scott Narver, it is almost election day.
Jake Lloyd Bacon, I know.
Is there anything in the WWE Encyclopedia about politicians?
There sure is, Jake.
Like what?
The originator of the famous wrestling move, the Tim Walls of Jericho.
I don't think that's in there.
Okay, fine. If you don't want to believe, there's something else here. Presidential nominee Kamala doesn't actually have any stars or moon tattooed on themselves. It was all painted on.
I don't think any of this is real.
Okay, you think they are painted on? I don't. Fine. I got one final one here.
Okay. It's usually how this works.
JD McDonough is a couch fucker.
Not the right JD, but not entirely unbelievable.
Yeah, that explains why they always have those couches in those Judgment Day segments.
WWE Encyclopedia Part 17. Go vote, people, today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Hello to everybody out there listening in your pod feeds. Thanks so much for tuning in to yet another Pro Wrestling Palskis. And thanks to everybody joining us live for the super exclusive patron-only live stream.
Back to back, we're on a streak.
If you're not in the live stream, you're missing out. You're only getting partial experience.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get full XP points for this. You're only gonna get partial XP.
Yeah. What are you getting, your church XP right now? You know how much XP you have to get to the next level for church?
Are we starting a cult, you and I?
No, I think you misunderstand what I'm saying entirely.
I do.
The premise being they get XP here, they level up real fast.
Right.
They can be champ.
Got it.
You go to church and you have to go to church so many times to get that XP to get to the next level, and you have to lose your character before you go to the next level.
Oh, shit,
That's
really?
some bullshit in that game.
Oh, you have to die?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a bummer. Especially after like working on your stats for so long.
Yeah. I didn't steal anything this whole time. I could have stole stuff.
You stole hearts, Scott Narver. You stole hearts. And you also stole the heart of our current PWP world champ, Gilbert Short, aka Goliathon, our record-setting 8-time PWP champion. 8-time champion. It just goes to show, if you're thinking,
wrestling's fake.
Because wrestling is totally fake. Hey, does it hurt, by the way? If you're like, hey, I'm not going to become a championship Palski. The odds of winning are probably crap. Guess what? They're not. The odds of winning are fantastic. You're almost guaranteed a victory at some point if you stay a patron of championship tier for at least a couple months.
Don't go to Vegas for WrestleMania. Those odds are terrible because you're going to lose your house trying to buy a ticket. Your odds are much better here.
Gilbert is also our record-setting longest reigning champ at 3 consecutive months. He's the only person to ever reign 3 consecutive months, and now he's 8-time champ. I am starting to think that Gilbert should play the lottery.
Well, and also you gave him an extra week.
What? Well, but that doesn't count. That's not a literal
favoritism.
Books.
Didn't he send you comic books before?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so Gilbert.
It's November, right?
It is November, but Gilbert's not.
Are we choosing a new champ today?
No, he's not. We're not going to choose a new champ today because we chose late in October, and because of the scheduling, I want to give him a proper bit of time to be champion for October, even though it's only going to be a little bit shorter than that. So next week we're going to choose November's champ.
Use the word short, and that's Gilbert's last name. You know, I can't see very well, but I can see some bullshit.
He did send me Spider-Man for PlayStation, the video game Spider-Man, and I don't know if this is. I sent him an image, so I know that he's okay with it. But it's also, I realized after the fact, kind of shitty. Because he sent me the PS4 version of Spider-Man, and I put it in to install on my PlayStation 5, and a little thing that came up that says like upgrade to the PS5 only remastered version for just $10. And I thought, well, yeah, obviously. So I did that, and I realized that like it's still part of the gift. I can't play that without the PS4 disc, but it is also like, hey, thanks for this thing. I'm gonna get the better version for myself. Sorry.
And I bet he gets a kickback from that. You guys are just forever
in fairness,
rubbing each other's backs with sweet, sweet lotion.
In fairness, it was a long time coming because he told me he was sending me to this last year, and he did eventually do that and sent an empty case. He forgot to put the game in it.
This
so
has
a
been
year
going
ago,
on for over a year.
A year ago, he sent me an empty game case. Maybe not a year, maybe a few months, but I'm being hyperbolic for the sake of entertainment, and that's what we're talking about today. World Wrestling Entertainment, specifically a little book called the WWE Encyclopedia. Because why? Well, Scott, you're dropping
your fancy coaster.
You're dropping my electric coaster. Oh my goodness, just leave it, I guess.
Well, it'll burn a hole in your carpet.
WWE
did to my phone.
Encyclopedia. By the way, Scott and Arbor. So I have a little wireless cell phone recorder, cell phone charger.
There's a wire.
That you, I'm not wireless. I meant
there's a wire.
Okay, you're right, but you don't.
The
it's
lies.
not
The lies.
It's not your
Good
phone.
thing Jesse Ventura is back to fucking uncover all these conspiracies.
Your phone is still wireless to the thing. So, but it's a kind of where you just put your phone on it and it charges. And I told Scott that when he walked in, and he seemed like it was magic. He'd never heard of this before.
And it didn't work.
It did work. It just made your phone kind of hot. It works on mine, no problem.
Kinda.
Right.
It took a long time to work. It worked once I put a cord in it.
God damn it.
It's such a stupid idea. You put this thing. All right, look at this. So this little fucking, it's a wireless charger. Look at this. It's a wireless charger. There's a wire running into the charger. Yet I could put that same fucking wire into my phone and just charge it directly. What does this do?
I think it's the convenience.
It burns this up. This is such a stupid thing.
I think it's
I'm
about
hungry.
the convenience.
Do you want to eat my food for me?
It's about the convenience of not, when picking up your phone, having to unplug it and then re-plug it in. You just put your phone down and then it's charging.
Have a longer cord. Why do you always have to unplug to then put the phone up to your head?
What?
Also,
Gilbert
don't
Short
answer
says,
phone calls. That's terrible.
He says, shaking my head. Even MagSafe? I don't know what that means.
Mag?
Even MagSafe. Is that the brand name? MagSafe? I don't know what he means by that.
MagSafe.
Is that the name of that company?
No, obviously this is Tazumi.
Alrighty. I don't know. I don't know what the champ. I think the champ has lost his mind. He's demeaning. I apologize.
Well, here's the encyclopedia, and I have been in possession of it ever since you moved.
Yeah, it's been over a year since you've had this.
I now bequeath it back to ye from camera to camera.
Oh my goodness. But do you think there's people out there who don't think we're actually in the same spot because we haven't been on camera together? You think they're like, oh, they're just lying to us?
Probably you and Gilbert.
Also, what's funny is that because I've painted this room alternate colors, they see the green paint behind me, behind the window, and then you have brown, so it does kind of look, whoa, wait a minute. I don't think you're in there yet. I don't think you ever got there.
Oh, I'll get in there. I'm on Tinder. I'll get in there.
There we go. There we go. There's a hand. I'm sure it's happening. It's on the screen though, but there we go. Yeah, see, look.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fingering me real good. Stop fingering me so good.
Horseman.
Oh, you love the MMA girls?
Who? All the ones that kept jobs?
MagSafe is an Apple thing where the induction charger is magnetized, so it stays on the phone until you remove it. Mike Lucas says, I had one when my charging port on my phone crapped out. The only time it was useful. All right, so this is a WWE Encyclopedia. And if you're not sure what this is, we just pick a random page and we fucking chat about it. Scott Narver?
Yeah.
Should we just dive right into this bullshit?
Yeah, do it on camera. Hey, bro. The pages aren't sticky, I swear.
Yeah, why does it smell so musky? Oh, baby, we are in S. We are in S, and we've got a lot of interesting things that I don't know. I see a page like this, and I go, yeah, I don't think this is going to be a long episode.
Really? I see one thing that makes it a long episode.
We've got Sonny King, Sonya Deville, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Southwest Championship Wrestling, the Spanish announce team, Spike Dudley, the Spirit Squad, Spiros Arian. Don't know who that is. The Spoiler. Ooh, that's a good name. And then St. Louis Wrestling Club.
A club.
The Spoiler is a really good name. I don't know who this is. I've never heard of the Spoiler.
He's got a small blurb.
All right. Oh, yeah. Here, I guess I can show the camera the Spoiler before I read about him.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Was that his signature maneuver? Spoiler alert?
I'm pretty sure that's I don't think spoiler alert was a phrase back then, but also this looks like the mask that I had in the old Broadway.
It could have been, it all was made up by him. Like the signature move it's the setup to the finisher. Was a spoiler alert, and then he hits you with a spoiler.
How much time was there in between? Because I feel like if you're gonna have a spoiler alert, you need to at least like have a little bit of time before the spoiler comes. Otherwise, it's not really effective.
That's part
alert.
of the signature move. You gotta set it up.
That's what I'm asking. How much time in between the signature and the finisher?
Well, it's old timey, so it's like 40 minutes.
Oh, okay, good, perfect. The spoiler, 6'4", 293 pounds, from parts unknown.
Eat 7 more pounds of food, you fucking piece of shit.
His signature move was the Iron Claw, not the spoiler alert.
Oh,
Um,
so it was a Von Erich under that mask.
Don Jardine. Does that name sound familiar to you?
No, but Keith Jardine is.
Don Jardine made
He's the Dean of Mean.
He's made his in-ring debut at the young age of 15. That's illegal. Spent more than 10 years competing under his giving name, as well as such aliases as The Butcher and Sonny Cooper. Wait a minute. Oh no, I read Sonny King. I was like, Sonny Cooper's also on this page.
I like it. He went from The Butcher to the spoiler. He's like, I like my first name. I'm keeping that.
Or what happened is he didn't refrigerate the meat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's spoiled.
Well, if he's in England, though, it's fine. They just hang that shit.
So what did you mention about him having the Iron Claw a moment ago?
Von Erich?
In 1967, famed promoter Fritz Von Erich gave him the name The Spoiler. From there, Jardine went on to become one of the best-known masked superstars of all time? Really?
Oh, man, that sucks. They put a question mark?
Really? The Spoiler was a double threat in the ring at 6'4", nearly 300 pounds. He possessed immense strength, but Jardine was also very athletic for a man of his size. They say that about every big man nowadays. And displayed uncanny balance.
Oh, that means he could fucking pass a drinking test by the cops on the road. No problem. If he walks this line and he stumbles, oh man, he is good. He's clearly slurring his words, but he hasn't stumbled once.
I read through the end of this, and the final little line, I don't know why, the way that it's presented and written is very strange. But let me continue. As a member of WWE, Spoiler used his feared Iron Claw to earn an opportunity at Pedro Morales' World Heavyweight Championship in New York. He had a world title shot. He was unable to unseat the champ, but the match holds historical significance since state regulations forced the Spoiler to compete without his trademark mask.
Oh, how bizarre. Curious more about that story.
Yet his most significant contribution was teaching Undertaker his signature walk across the top rope.
He taught him?
He taught the Taker how to walk on a rope.
Hopefully also when Taker was 15.
It was long before any of them were wrestlers.
15.
So that's all like different paragraphs. And then there's a whole other paragraph, like a new space and then line that just says he died in 2006. It's just, I don't know why, but it's the lack of punctuation or any sort of flowery language of like, he tragically died or he died at the age of blah, blah, blah. It just says, boom, right there. He died in 2006.
He was loved. He was a great family man.
Nope. Died in 2006.
He also taught another guy another thing.
What was that?
No, just anything. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
He taught Kane how to make fire come from turnbuckle posts.
So I don't know anything about this dude. I've never heard the name Don
They didn't
Jardine.
say, spoiler alert, he died in 2006.
That's what it should have said. Don't know anything about this. Do you know has any of this ring a bell to you at all?
No. Totally fresh, new to me. Spoiler, I hear he's one of the greatest masked men of all time.
Yeah, he really is. One of the greatest masked superstars of all time, despite the fact that his most famous match was without his face mask.
That's how good he was.
Do you think he was still billed as a Spoiler on that evening?
I would guess so. Is that just New York people that they're trying to keep the wrestling business quiet from, right? They're always going like, it's real. It's real. And they're going like, okay, you can't wear your fucking mask here though. Take your fucking mask off. I got to know who you are. We don't have lanyards.
Honestly, either that or it's just real shitty New York racism. We're like, what are you, a Mexican? We don't have Mexicans here. We have Puerto Ricans, okay? And I don't see no Puerto Rican wearing a wrestling mask. Get that shit out of here.
Is he though? I was not clear on that.
It says from parts unknown.
Oh,
it doesn't.
Shit. He
so
could be from anywhere.
I don't know where he actually is. I mean, the fact that he was clearly wrestling for the Von Erichs, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's like a Southerner. But like, I think like most people didn't travel super far.
For territory wrestling?
Yeah, but I guess like, no, they
Kamala
did. Yeah, come on.
from Uganda. That's true.
That's true. That's true. What else? 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 Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else more to add about spoiler.
That's interesting. I would like to research.
Maybe we should
the spoiler.
Try to see a spoiler match on the Peacock to see if we can add it to the watch.
I doubt that's there.
All right, what do you want to talk about next from all the stuff I said?
Oh, we got so many things. Let's talk about the Spirit Squad.
Oh, Kenny, Johnny, Nikki, Mikey, and Mitch.
Which one was your favorite? Without having to look and see which one was which.
I don't really remember them. Like, I know that they happened. I remember a couple moments, but there was never a point where I thought any of them had an individual personality. Like, I don't recall Spirit Squad things other than like the stuff that they show in a highlight.
That's when you're like getting back in, right? With Spirit Squad times.
Yeah. What year is this?
Because I remember Kenny, because Kenny was the prodigy. Kenny was like the 21-year-old, and they kept writing about him saying like he could smash all these records and do this, and he was definitely interesting and had a crazy finishing move. Jesus Christ! Now he's an agent. Now he's like one of the break apart guys in the fights and all the brawls and shit. I'm sorry, he's in every Bronson Reed segment. And his finishing move is fucking nuts. So he would get such distance and air when he'd get up on the top rope, opponent be down on the mat face up, and he would do a leg drop from the top, but he would, from what I recall, like pull back both legs, like hold them.
Oh,
for
right,
a sec, and
right.
then, like dart them out and do a leg drop.
Sort of the opposite of a frog splash where you like fold up forward.
Yeah.
He would fold outwards. Yeah. Interesting.
And do that. And so he was crazy athletic.
It's kind of a little bit like the insane elbow, like in whatever Kairi Sane's elbow, where she kind of like starts outwards and then throws her legs up really big.
It's like she's stretching before she does it.
Right.
In air. And then I think it's Mitch that has like the gigantic bucket head.
They don't specify in the photo. It doesn't say like left to right. So I don't know who's who in the photo.
Right. I'm going to look up. I think it was Mitch who was the one who just looks like a schoolyard bully.
Right.
And seemed like he's just hanging out with the rest of the guys because that's what they're doing, but would happily also join a biker gang.
Right.
He was interchangeable.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, right now I'm a male cheerleader because that pisses you off.
Right.
And I didn't think much of Dolph and all that. Like,
yeah. Which one is he? Nikki?
I guess so. Yeah.
Nick Nemeth, Nikki. Yeah.
How pissed are you if you're fucking Ryan Nemeth and you're like, I can't be a part of the obnoxious cheerleader guys. Like you can't make it 6 or I can't be one of them.
How old? Maybe he wasn't even like, I don't know.
They were both going through all this together.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were that close in age. I thought they were a bigger gap. And I thought maybe Nikki here was still so young that he just wasn't there together. But yeah, I guess so. Yeah. That is annoying. Like also WWE loves putting brothers in things like 2 guys that look alike that are both in Spirit Squad.
When you Google Mitch Spirit Squad, the first picture.
Oh my God. Is a yoked action figure? A real yoked action figure.
Not even the guy. Yeah. This was, I mean, I see now kind of why I like him. He's Pete Gas looking, but yeah, he's just the meathead of them all.
Oh my God. He has no neck. His ears connect right to his shoulders.
Yeah. That's why I liked him for that, just because he just looked like an asshole. He just looked like a guy that was a bully. Yeah.
So reading the little blurb, it says that they debuted in January 2006. I think I probably started watching again in 2008. So I probably might have seen the tail end of something they did, depending on how long they were around
for. They did a lot with those guys, and they put them in fucking everything. It was unbelievable how much they were running with these guys and how much they were involved in.
Was it just because they were easy fodder? Is it one of those instances where like if you're a big group that people like to make fun of and, you know, Vince thinks it's funny to dump poop on you and like, you know, make fun of you because you're a sissy cheerleader. Like,
but it feels like it's wins and tag teams. Like they weren't just the dumping ground.
Well, it does say they were the tag champions. Yeah. There's a little tag.
They were like part of being with Vince McMahon and they were the backup and they were certainly always getting reactions. It did feel a little like, yeah, but this is kind of dopey. And you saw that those guys were always trying to overcome it. I think what ultimately hurt, it's a couple of things. This is the era of the PG D-Generation X.
Right. It even says that they had an outing with the revived D-Generation X is what it says in here.
And there were a few good segments, and I know it's really being looked at fondly now because now I think is that it's nostalgia for those people that grew up with it.
Right.
So now it's the like,
Right. I
Oh
love
man,
those guys.
it didn't get any fucking better than this. Look
Right.
at Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like, it wasn't that good.
Sure.
There were definitely some classic moments, but Shawn and Triple H were Shawn and Triple H. They weren't really losing anybody. They weren't really making anybody.
Right.
They were winning all the time. So if you watched it already, you go like, yeah, this feels the fucking same. So when you see the guys like Spirit Squad guys fight them, you go, well, they're just gonna lose. The Spirit Squad guys didn't get the next level of something.
Right.
They could still be the male cheerleaders, right?
Right.
Like,
Sure.
but some other version of it, like they're a little bit tougher, they're a little bit meaner, or something darker about the cheers, or
Right. Yeah.
there was never a next step. So it just got tired and old, and you went, yeah, well, they lose and there's still these guys. So it certainly could have gone longer. They could have gotten more out of these guys, but they also had just a crazy influx of talent at the time. And who knows what, if it was just injuries,
Like
or
individually, there were some stars there. And yeah, this was a good little mining group for them to all potentially do different things.
Yeah,
down
you
the
had
line.
5 guys that could all break out and fight or do.
Right.
You could have 5 different gimmicks, 5 different things.
Right.
And the one that emerges was the
Is a
most ludicrous thing at the time.
Complete rebrand of everything.
Yeah, and this was the era too where, well, how am I going to get over?
Say your name a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kennedy. I'm Dolph Ziggler, and he shakes everybody's hand.
Yeah,
and
I
you go,
remember that. Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler.
Like, what?
Gosh.
What are those 2 words that he's saying?
Um,
And yeah, but I think Kenny had a little bit of a run, but they didn't do much with him. And I think he was just called Kenny, if I'm not mistaken. The other guys just disappeared, or were in like a very basic tights and
like
boots
other tag team. Right. Yeah.
And
with like a name that sounds like Spirit Squad, but isn't. They're like the Squad. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, like you had so much potential for all these guys. Like you're paying these guys for 5 years.
Right.
You don't break any of them up and do something.
They're just like they're PG retribution is what they are.
I mean, the PG,
Sure. Yeah.
NXT, the
Right,
first
yeah,
NXT,
Nexus or
the
whatever,
Nexus, and all that. It's
Here's a little piece of trivia. Who did they win their tag titles from? Who did the Spirit Squad beat? Of course, it doesn't
something
specify.
that pissed me off back then. I'm sure.
It doesn't specify.
Fucking
either.
Basham Brothers.
It says within months of their debut, the High Flyers surprised blank and blank to take their World Tag Team Championships.
All right, this era, I'm so poor with it, knowledge of who was all there. So I'm gonna go with the Highlanders.
Nope.
Okay.
It's a hodgepodge of 2 single stars who both are those sorts of people who are constantly in tag teams with other people.
John Cena and Shawn Michaels.
Nope. Shawn Michaels is DXing at this moment in time.
Well, Cena was around in the mix too.
Sorry. But anyways, we talked about like who had most tag team partners. We did a whole episode on that.
Big Show?
Yep.
Is this Jericho?
Nope. This predates that by a while.
Again, not that much.
No, but you know,
Because they have a TLC with
yeah.
everybody in Miz?
Nope.
Who else would have been? I feel like Kane was played out.
No, he wasn't.
Oh man,
It's Big Show
again?
and Kane.
Again?
Big Show and Kane lose the titles to the Spirit Squad.
They had their like big run in 2000. Those 2.
Really? Oh god, then they reunited in 2006.
Yeah.
Jesus
Hey, I don't
Christ.
wear a mask now. Isn't that different? Yeah, and I make terrible facial hair choices, and my gear keeps getting more uncomfortably tight.
I like to think that it's like, hey, yeah, it's the big, and then the fire, and then they're like, this works perfectly. Great, that's the tag team.
I bet you're 100% right.
The
on
big
that
flame?
entrance.
The big flame they call themselves or some shit like that.
Chat,
all right.
Chat saying anything? Fond memories of Spirit Squad? Anything? in
no,
that
but
nature?
Gilbert guessed Kane and Hurricane and was wrong. A little bit of a
that
delay
was
there.
2002, 3-ish.
Yeah, those are the
Then
dark days.
Katie Vick ruined it all. But Triple
Ooh.
H still kept going, even though he was the guy in the segment. The tag team ends of the 2 guys who are super over, and the run of all that. It's like, oh, we're gonna break this apart.
What were you looking for exactly?
Hey, this is the DOJ. Triple H, we have some questions for you. I don't know nothing. Right show.
Who else do you want to chat about on the list here? Spanish announce team?
Hugo, son of a bitch, and the other guy whose name's not as funny.
Okay, nope, he's not on there.
Hugo
Hugo's not on here.
Savinovich?
No, Hugo's not on here.
Really?
Nope.
He was the guy.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
because not according to the WWE Encyclopedia. And as we know, this is everything.
Yeah, it is. Damn it. So
the story of the Spanish announce table is worthy of its own book, it says.
The table or the team?
The table is it. In the heat of battle, WWE superstars have a tendency to turn their attention to the inanimate object, delivering DDTs and suplexes, among other perilous maneuvers on the hard, uneven surface. What about the men seated behind the table?
Yeah.
To Latin viewers, they're trusted faces who help bring the action into homes throughout the WWE universe.
To a bunch of whiteys, they're just two guys that got the best seat in the house and they just talk gibberish.
If you're a honky, these are NPCs.
If you're a honky tonk man, well, it's a whole other thing.
In 1985, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Pedro Morales and Miguel Alonso, formerly a broadcaster in the old LA territory, became WWE's Spanish language commentators. In 1994, former Colombian newscaster Carlos Cabrera.
Yeah. And
Ecuadorian-born Hugo Savinovich.
Yeah, there he is.
A colorful former wrestler and manager in Puerto Rico became a team.
Yeah, right there.
At one point, the duo was joined by future Hall of Famer Cena Santana.
Cena Santana?
Tamina Santana.
Cena Santana.
I'm sleepy. My camera keeps flickering. Are you guys seeing this in the live stream? I need to figure out why it's doing that. This is our first day with this.
It's
new
reading
setup.
your pulse.
It's just like flashing white every now and then, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Your camera's Tamina-ing.
But after Savinovich's departure in 2011, Venezuelan
I believe they fired him.
Actor and director Marcelo Rodriguez joined Cabrera. Rodriguez formerly commentated on WWE's short-lived Super Astros show featuring Mexican superstars, and is known for taking controversial positions that often contrast with Cabrera's steady observations.
It's now known as WWE Speed on Twitter.
So that is, I think it's now known as X. So that's who's listed. It's listed as Carlos Cabrera and Marcelo Rodriguez, probably because that's when the book came out. That's who it was. Okay. I don't know who it is anymore, if it's still them.
But I don't know either. I would think Carlos is probably aged out by now. But yeah, Hugo Savinovich was there forever.
Yeah, it's the guy I don't really
those two
remember.
guys.
If I saw a picture of him, I might be like, oh, yeah, that guy.
And the voices that, they cut to him enough.
Every now and then, yeah, and they just show them in the beginning.
They got that energy. Oh, yes. Yeah, and they were fun. Hugo sold in such fucking hilarious ways that weren't totally unrealistic, but just wrestling funny enough. Like, how Devon Dudley gets convulsions.
Yes, yeah. Oh, now that I see the photo, 100% recognize this dude. 100% recognize him. Like
He's
that,
also the I think it's the Jake Roberts Pick Your Poison documentary.
Good one. I have that one.
It's bummerific, but Hugo is like half of the story.
Interesting.
Hugo's he knew Jake, like he talks about half of the shit that goes on in that whole documentary.
There's this photo that I just found of
Salacious Crumb kissing Jabba the Hutt.
Cody giving him a little kiss, just a little kiss on the cheeky.
Hugo would sell, like, when people go through the table, he would do this thing where he'd be a little side saddle in his chair, just a little bit, and he would it's like an L shape with the arms.
Right.
One goes vertically up, one goes vertically out to the side, and like one leg would go as much up as he could, and then the other one he's just pushing himself.
Right.
So him and the chair go off to the side.
I can picture it perfectly.
And it's somehow he makes it go slow.
Right. Yeah. He's like one of those punching bags that like has weight in the bottom. And like when you hit it, it like slowly drifts down and then it comes back up again.
Or the weird physics in certain games now where there's like things that crash and fall apart. Right. And then one thing takes a while for them drifts to the side. That's what he would do.
He existed within the Havoc engine.
It's so fucking amazing. And it's delightful because he's taking a bump. He's doing it for the guys. Right. Like he's involved in it, but he's older and it's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it like this.
I'm going to do it back on the chair to the barricade behind him.
But I certainly never heard, and I wouldn't be able to understand. Like I wanted to always know the Carlos going like, are you okay?
Right.
How quick does he get up? Is he all right? Is it like, oh, they got me again? I don't know that dynamic or anything, but I'd be very curious to know.
When it says Spanish announce team here, of course, Spanish announce table,
yes,
is part of what the listing is. I remember when I first got into wrestling, not as a kid, but got into the act of wrestling and started going to indie shows, that was when I met Amazing Red and the SAT.
I'm not familiar with the SAT.
Okay.
Also, because I didn't take it in high school.
Their their brothers. Oh my God. I feel so terrible. I can't remember their names. They were the nicest guys. And they're cousins of the Amazing Red. Their team was called the SAT, and it stood for
Crimson. I believe Crimson and Amazing Red were cousins in TNA. So,
oh my God, I feel so terrible for not remembering these guys' names. They were so kind.
Hugo Savitovich?
No, the SAT.
SAT.
Jose and Joel Maximo.
Okay.
The Maximos. Jose and Joel were their names.
So how are they what is the SAT?
The SAT is the three of them. That's the group. It's these two guys and the Amazing Red are called the SAT. And
what does the SAT stand for?
The Spanish announce table.
Okay.
I remember thinking that's like the pinnacle. Like this is like early indie wrestling where it started becoming like meta and insider. And I thought that was the funniest, coolest. Like I remember thinking like as at 18 or 17, however old I was, like, this is the fucking coolest. Yeah, it's called the SAT because they always put people through the Spanish announce table in wrestling. It's like,
so Amazing Red is not Spanish, right?
I think he is. Jonathan Figueroa. Yeah, he's.
Oh, he always just read as the most gingery ginger that ever gingered.
He is the cousin of Jose and Joel Maximo and Zelina Vega. He's like his Vega. They're all cousins.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there's your LWO.
He's Puerto Rican. Red.
Okay. I did not know that.
Again, New Yorkers.
I always just assumed...
In New Yorkers, that's what we have. Puerto Ricans and New Yorkers. That's our Hispanic people.
Yeah.
I remember when I moved to Florida, and I was like, these Puerto Ricans are different. They're like, that's because they're Colombian. They're Cuban, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm racist. I don't know. I apologize.
I don't know. How's your sandwich?
But yeah, fucking the SAT were fantastic, and I just remember thinking their name was the coolest thing at like 17, 18, being like,
gotcha.
It's cool. But they were also incredible wrestlers. Like they were like, you'd fucking know Red at that time. The fucking acrobatics and everything was just like the insane. Before it became the norm on TV,
right?
It was like, you've never seen anything like this. You've never seen the acrobatics, the fucking the Cirque du Soleil-ing of pro wrestling.
I mean, he's no Scripps.
I mean, he would take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jose
Scripps
and
is a pioneer.
They were such nice dudes. I don't know if they're
not
still
now?
wrestling. I don't know. Let's see if they're still wrestling.
Red showed up on maybe it was TNA recently. Like he was involved and showed up somewhere. Maybe it was AEW.
Oh my God. I legit looked at their first image on Wikipedia, and for a moment I was like, I think I took this photo. Like I really, because for a while I was snapping pictures, but I don't recognize. I just feel like I have a photo like it. It says that they are a active, like meaning like it's not past tense. It doesn't say the SAT were a. It says the SAT is a Spanish wrestling tag team, mostly seen in independent promotions and consisting of brothers. So
we could book them.
We could probably book them.
We could do a show. We could book them.
They were fantastic, absolutely fantastic. If you can find old indie videos of, whether it's ICW or UCW or USA Pro Wrestling, go look at a young SAT with Red, and they put on some really fun, crazy matches.
Yeah, Red's still going.
All right, what else on the page you want to chat about?
Well, we talked about tables. So
what does that mean? We got to talk about Dudley, Dudley. He's got a lot of little badges next to his name.
He's a little fella. Can't get him big ones; they weigh him down.
Cruiserweight, European, hardcore, and tag team champion.
Isn't that bad?
Not bad. Not a bad tenure. 4 titles.
I hope he's okay physically. I know he's popped up here and there.
I think the last time he was in Impact for something, right?
He might have done a Hall of Fame, because I think Dudley's Hall of Fame. So whether he showed up there
but wasn't there a wedding in TNA with some Dudley that he was a part of?
Yeah, Devon.
That might have been a while back though.
Devon married Don West.
That is,
so they're double D's.
That's really sweet. D&D West, D&DW, Dungeons and Dragon Wagon. That's my podcast.
There you go.
Right, anyways,
you can't get Don West now.
No, not happening. His signature move was the Dudley Dog. Oh, like the bulldog. Right. Yeah.
It was running up the turnbuckles, and then he was
awesome.
so great of having the little feet dangle
because he was so little,
and then kicking him and then coming down. And before that, it was the acid drop, I believe, in ECW.
Wait, he did the acid drop?
I believe that's what it was called. It was the same move, but they called the acid drop because they had the acid.
Yeah, like acid wash.
Mm-hmm. And that's fucking edgy and cool.
Oh, totally. It's extreme, is what you mean.
What does that mean?
As the runt of the Dudley litter, it says Spike Dudley entered.
He didn't get any titty milk. That's why he's so small.
He entered WWE to very low expectations. But over the course of his career, the half-brother of Bubba and Devon proved to be WWE Universe that size doesn't matter, except when you're facing Bam Bam Bigelow. And then
that was good. We did that for a watch
long, and I'd never seen it before, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, Spike, and I think he had some moniker to this degree. I don't remember exactly, but just being like the ultimate underdog of that guy could sell, that guy could emote, that guy had, when we see it, replicated, because you're always going to have a tiny guy. And I feel like you should always use
it's a wrestling
guy.
thing.
You have the biggest guy, you have the tiniest guy. Like you need to have the
variety.
Yeah, exactly. And when we see it recreated, a lot of times, like there's missing elements to it. Like we see a Marco Stunt, or we see others that they don't. Spike had it all. Like Spike had charisma.
Because you believed him. He was a little guy, and he got the crap kicked out of him. But part of his persona was that he can take a beating, which when you're a little guy, that is good.
And he comes from a family of all tougher guys.
Right.
So he's still he was with all of them and got the shit beat out of him, and he'll keep fighting.
Right. Yeah. It is sort of the very fun trope of like the very eager little guy who's more confident than he is capable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Steve Zahn in every movie he's ever in. Like it's that sort of like, you feeling froggy, jump.
We talked about something earlier today that goes right back to, you need to watch something I recommended.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. I need to watch it. Okay. Anyways. But yeah, I think that's why it works for him and not for a Marco Stunt. Because for Marco Stunt, it's a one note thing.
Yeah.
It's he's little and we're going to beat him up. And yeah, he might be fun and the fans might like him and he has like a moment where he does something good. But Spike was presented authentically. He was presented as a small fighter.
Yeah.
Where they would tell the story of like, geez Louise, stay down, dude. You're going to die. Like he's going to kill you.
Yeah. ECW always. Geez Louise guy. Geez Louise. That was Joey Styles' other famous catchphrase. Oh my God. Can't fight.
Wait a minute.
Geez Louise.
If I ever, listen, I know Quasto's first in line, but if I ever become a commentator, that's got to be my shirt, right? That's going to be the thing that I'm going to get over. Jeez Louise, did you see him hit that thing?
Yeah, there you go. That's yours.
It's not Mamma Mia. It's not, oh my God.
Yeah,
I say it a lot.
There'll be a lot of Louises standing up going like, look.
I also say, oh my goodness, a lot.
The Karens, they have their fight.
Right, of course.
But us Louises, we want to be stopped being Jesus. One of my favorite.
Oh, I was just going to say, I loved Spike Dudley and Molly Holly together. I loved it.
That goes into what I was going to mention was one of my favorite memories was Stone Cold being the bully.
Okay. Heel Stone Cold.
And I'm trying to remember what it was for, but at one point he had a petition. And
Stone Cold was trying to get signatures?
Yeah, because he was trying to get.
He was like, yeah, this is a signature that says CTE fight. Isn't a real thing.
Yeah. He was trying to get like a title match or something back that, Vince or whoever wasn't going to give him. So then he was going around or trying to get out of something. It's probably more likely.
Right.
Didn't want to wrestle.
Didn't have to face somebody at a pay-per-view.
Because I think he was champ and he didn't want to wrestle somebody. So he's going around and bullying people into signing his petition.
Love this.
So then Spike and Molly are together and they're like hanging out at the stairwell or something like that. And then Austin comes up and goes like, y'all need to sign this thing. And they're like, no, I'm sorry. We're just we're hanging out. We're talking right now. We're good. Like, hey, why don't you make your dumb little girlfriend sign this thing? And Spike fucking loses. It's kind of what you want energy wise out of
a little guy.
It's getting better overall with the rosters, right?
Right.
But like,
yeah.
This is certainly what you want on camera. If you're producing a segment, you go like, oh, you fucking nailed it, dude. That
Right.
fire that you give,
Yeah,
of like,
the rage.
he takes the petition, like, don't call my girlfriend dumb, rips it all up, and then throws it, and then either like, I'll fight you right now. Come on, let's go. And then Austin is pissed off, but also can't believe that this little guy fucking did that.
And Austin is so good at selling moments like that.
And it was a solidification of like, I'm gonna make you look great.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. But this is gonna be good for everybody.
People are gonna
involved.
fucking love you
this
for
is
it.
gonna be
And
everybody.
they're gonna love Molly too. And then they went and they had a fight, and it was, it's what you want it to be.
That seems fun. I want to watch. That's got to get added to the watch along. I want to watch the segment and then the match, because I'm assuming they just went out as like a Raw or something like that, and they immediately went out and
I don't know if it was a proper match. I think it was just like a fight.
I gotcha.
But
it was during that era where they didn't actually need to ring the bell. It was just like, hey, now they're fighting backstage, and this is the next segment.
Like, well, we're not going to argue with Austin.
They're like,
he's beat the shit out of all of us at this point.
We literally have a title right now on TV that's just people fighting whenever they want. We don't need to make this about pro wrestling as an event.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love Spike. Spike will always have a soft spot as being one of my favorite little runty characters. Like, and I think it is because they did a good job of making him a comedy character that isn't one-dimensionally a comic. Like, I feel like Jamie Noble was the same way. They did a pretty good job with Jamie Noble of making him like,
even in ECW, where it's like, yeah, he's funny, he can be funny, but this is serious now.
Right.
There are serious moments. It's not just comedy.
He's not undangerous.
Yes.
Is that a word? Undangerous? He's not. Yeah. He's dangerous. That's what I meant to say.
He's capable of being dangerous. And he was also really insightful and fun to listen to in the Rise and Fall of ECW documentary.
Yeah. I remember watching. I don't remember him specifically.
Epically great documentary that they made of like the extensive.
I think I have the DVD of that maybe.
ECW run. And Spike is great because he's a former school teacher, and I don't know if he's gone back to that now or what he's done, but when he talked, you got fully invested in like, shit, yeah, he's great at this, and hopefully he still enjoys wrestling in some capacity. He certainly seems like he could have some bad injuries from it, especially from that era, but certainly someone that, I don't know, if they put him on a commentary team or if he was on a roundtable discussion, I would definitely check in and watch Spike Dudley.
Matt Heisen lives in Rhode Island with his wife, Vicky, their 16-month-old daughter, and he works as a financial planner for Mass Mutual.
16 month.
Well, I don't know how old this is. This might be an old thing.
Like, whoa, good for Spike still shooting out.
When did this shooting out what exactly?
Sperm.
There we go.
Working sperm.
How do I tell when this was posted? WWE.com. There's no way to tell when something's posted. Great. Fantastic.
That's how they can stay doing revisionist history.
Right. I mean, it doesn't look
never
like
date it. That's why WrestleMania stopped getting the numbers.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no way to tell when this was posted. Thanks, WWE.com. Good journalism.
Well, that kid's got to be at least 3 by now.
Yeah, but also I love that he's just working in finance. He's a finance bro.
He's probably a smart guy.
Well, I mean, he was a teacher, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the Dudleyville public school district is like, but it seems like they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to chat about on the thing? We got Sonny King, Sonya, and then 2 championship wrestling companies, and Spiros Arion. Don't know who he is.
Don't know either.
All right, let's talk about Spiros. Spiros, that's a good name. Spiros. I don't think his 2 names go together. Spiros and I don't know how I'm pronouncing it.
Say it faster.
Spiros Arion. Spiros Arion. Spiros Arion. I don't know how you.
Chat, do you know how to say it? Go ahead and spell it.
Somebody tell us. Google it. He was a USA Tag Team Champion.
Oh, patriotic.
Billed from Athens, Greece.
Whoa.
6'5",
nice.
260. The man known throughout the world as the Iron Greek. First appeared in WWE.
I think I've eaten there.
They have great gyros. How come it's not called Greek? Greek. I can't do it. How would you say Greek with the G that's in euros? Isn't it? Is that pronounced
There's
euros?
also a G in Greek.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Are we removing that one and then putting it?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do a very dumb bit about
Greek?
You're not supposed to pronounce the G in
Reek?
gyro. Yeah, Reek. I don't know. Anyways,
Reek.
Oh boy, guys, listen, they're not all fucking swings and hits and
No.
championship home runs.
No, none of them.
He first appeared in WWE in 1966. Spiros Arion's fiery Mediterranean nature, oh boy, quickly made him one of the most popular superstars in the Northeast as he squared off against Angelo Savaldi, Tony Nero, Smasher Sloan, and Tank Morgan. I recognize one of those names. Do you recognize any of them? I recognize Tank Morgan.
Okay.
But I don't recognize any of the other ones.
No. I liked Smasher Sloan.
That's a good name, Smasher Sloan. In December of 66, he won his first title in WWE when he and Antonio Puglisi teamed up to win the United States Tag Team Championship. In 67, his close friendship with Bruno Sammartino led to another U.S. tag title reign.
Oh.
So he won tag titles with multiple friends. Over the next few years, he traveled the globe, returning to WWE in 74 to team with his friend and mentor, Chief Jay Strongbow, known Native American.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if he's tagging with Chief Jay Strongbow, Native American, this guy billed from as a Greek from Athens, Greek. What do we think he is?
Oh, he's
like Honduran.
He's Canadian.
It's Canadian. French. He's French Canadian.
Spiros Agnew. What is it?
Arian. Arion, like Orion.
Arian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a weird name. Spiros Orion.
God, look at that body hair. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's wearing a carpet.
He rolled through a puke factory covered in glue.
Listen.
Oh my God.
He eventually turned on Strongbow and fell under the sinister influence of classy Freddie Blassie. Filled with hate, the once heroic Greek gladiator became a treacherous and crafty villain. In one memorable incident, he tied Strongbow to the ropes, destroying the Proud Warrior's feather headdress. That's a hate crime.
Dear God.
He last appeared in WWE in 78, teaming with Victor Rivera.
Okay.
He ended his career in England for the joint promotions in the 1980s.
I might have some world shattering for you.
Uh-oh, world shattering? Is he not Greek?
Say his name again.
Spiros Arian. That's how I would say it. Spiros Arian. Spiros Orion.
All right. Well, his birth name, and I'm going to do my best.
If it's Gyro, I swear to God, we're not going to
get through this. It's Eurogyro. Spyridon Manausicus.
That is. I think I played as him in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Which one? Where was it based?
Greece. Hence the Odyssey.
It was Greece?
Hence the Odyssey.
Sure it wasn't the Cairo, Egypt?
Oh, he's Egyptian.
He walks like one. You didn't see that?
No, it's a still photo. I didn't see a video yet.
Yeah, so imagine that. They're like, I'm from Egypt, and here's my name. Like, that's fucking difficult. You're Greek.
In fairness,
this guy.
There is a lot of crossover for obviously Greek and Egypt. There's a little,
is there?
There's some wars and some invasions and some things that occurred throughout the human history. So there is a lot of crossover.
The Mediterraneans are fiery, from what I hear, and Egyptians, they just chill out in pyramids.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? It's like we're talking about olives.
Yeah. Apples and olives, right? You can't compare the two.
I couldn't come up with Egyptian food there, by the way. What happened was I was going to do a bit about the two foods that we know the two cultures are prominent. Could not come up with what Egyptians eat.
Egyptians don't eat.
No idea.
All know that.
Sand?
That's why they don't have restaurants. Apparently, still alive.
Oh, well, I mean,
84 years old.
Good for him.
Or they haven't found the body. He retired in 1980, but you know what? WrestleMania is just around the corner. Rumble's just around the corner beyond that.
Nobody retires in wrestling.
Get back in there, Spiros Arion.
The Iron Greek is a pretty great name, despite sounding like a restaurant here in Los Angeles.
Also known as the Golden Greek.
Ooh, now that's a restaurant that's in Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Yeah.
It's not Golden Greek wouldn't sell here in LA, but that's a Tarpon Springs restaurant for sure.
And I'm sure Ric Flair's made that drink before too.
He's definitely frequented Tarpon Springs quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's a
Drink
sponge.
the Golden Greek.
He's definitely harassed somebody at a sponge dock here and there.
Yeah.
We need a new Gilbert says we need a new gimmick battle royal. Come on, Spiros with an O.
I don't know if he has any gimmick.
Spiros.
He might just be a man.
All right. You want to talk about Sonya Deville?
Sure.
I fucking love Sonya Deville. I loved her when she debuted, even though she was green. As far as like being a pro wrestler, I the worst thing that ever happened to her was what's her name? The Queen of Spades. God damn it, the MMA woman who was really badass.
Shayna Baszler.
Thank you. The worst thing that happened.
They're in
to
a group
Sonya.
now.
I know, but the worst thing that happened to her when she first debuted was Shayna coming in soon behind her because they were billing Sonya as this badass MMA fighter. She had a great gimmick. Speaking of Greek, she was wearing like, Greek battle stuff. She has this great look. I think she's very striking looking. I think she's gorgeous. She has a really unique look to her. I was like fucking so in on her.
In the game WWE Champions, they just used Trish's face on her.
Do they really?
It's really creepy.
Oh no. I stopped playing it, by the way. I
That's why we stopped talking. That's why I lost my eyesight.
She also had a great catchphrase slogan thing that they came up with, and I don't know why they've never gone back to it. Maybe because it was tired. I don't know. I loved it. Put your hair up and square up. I loved that. I was like, that is really good. That is like tap or snap. Like sometimes there's a good little fighter saying, and and like the fucking women's locker room and the women's revolution, having this fucking badass like fighter chick who's also really beautiful doing put your hair up and square up, like fantastic. And then she started wrestling with her hair down. I was like, you're ruining your goddamn slogan, lady.
She didn't even do it.
Yeah. But I dug it.
I had trouble. I remember she was at AfterBuzz around that time. Like some people knew her and were talking about her, and I met her in passing, and then there was like, she's gonna get signed. She's gonna get signed.
Oh, really? So there was like some buzz.
Okay.
There was some after buzz.
There's some pre-buzz. But I wasn't heavily invested either way. It's like, oh, good for you, this person who wrestles and will get a job. And then when they said the name Sonya Deville, I was like, Deville?
It sounds like a 50s car to me.
Well, I couldn't get past I get it. She's wearing black and we're trying to do Cruella Deville, but that one works.
I never even put that together.
Really?
That's what they're trying to call to?
Well, when I hear Deville, it's from Cruella Deville.
I go car. That's interesting.
And in my head, I go, no, that name works because it's Cruel Devil.
Right.
Like, just Deville as the last name, to me, just registered as flat.
That's so interesting because I think of the Cadillac DeVille when I hear the name DeVille and I see it with the LLE.
I didn't know that it was a car.
So when I hear that name, when I hear the name Sonya Deville, I picture like a fucking greaser. I picture like fucking Snooka's kid or whatever they were called, like Dice and whatever.
Tamina.
Dice and Domino. Yes, Tamina. The name to me,
Dice, that would have been better, but it was Deuce.
Was.
That was probably someone like afterwards goes like, it's all trademark, it's done. Walk out debut like, so Dice and Domino, right? No, it's Deuce. Oh,
but wait, it should be dominoes and dice, like it's games of chance. Like, what are we doing?
Like, no, I take a shit and he plays games.
So Mike Lucas in chat says he thinks DeVille like the Jersey Devil, because she's from Jersey, which is also kind of a funny thing that we all went to different places in our mind. It shows you how
we all think of something else when she comes out on TV. We go, I'm thinking of this other thing. Well, that's no good. It feels like the name don't work.
But with that said, I don't know what her ethnic background is, or
Egyptian.
if she like even it's part of her identity the way that some people it's just not. But like to me, she looks Greek. Like she looks like a fucking Greek goddess. She has like that sort of like,
all right, I believe she has
face,
a partner, buddy.
But she has that like powerful stature, and I'm like, DeVille to me is like the last. Sonya works. Sonya sounds old world. It sounds like a goddess.
Well, I remember, so I looked up her name.
She's Italian, I'm told in the chat.
Daria.
Ooh, yeah.
Baronato or Baronato.
Yeah, that's an Italian name.
But Daria to me was the name being thrown around. I was like, yeah, Daria.
Right.
I've never heard of a wrestling named Daria. It's been long enough from the Beavis and Butthead spinoff show.
Yeah.
I feel like that's uniquely fine. Like,
also, if
she's got 3 syllables, you can chant it.
Also, if she is a like really uptight heel, a baby face will call her Diarrhea and everybody will love it.
Yeah. Daria Ray Baronato is the full name. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Doritos.
She's from Jersey. It sounds about right. Sounds like
Is she from Jersey?
Sounds like my people. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, have you heard of this town? Shamong Township?
Listen, we try not to talk about Michael Jackson ever since that documentary came out. Shamong!
What?
No,
he was in the Vince documentary too?
I heard. I have heard of Shamong, New Jersey.
Shamong Township.
I think it's shaming. Shaming?
Mm-hmm. No, it's Seamus.
Seamus?
It's a shameful thing.
Diarrhea. That's Gilbert spelling out how they would chant her name. Diarrhea. I don't know. I fucking love her. I was really sad when all that stuff happened. With like the assault, wasn't there like an issue where there was like
stalker, like the NXT stalker,
and like I was really worried because it felt like maybe she wasn't.
It wasn't scripts.
She wasn't going to be wrestling anymore. And then when she came back, I was so glad. I really enjoyed her in the position of power. They had her in a little while as like a GM's assistant, right? And honestly, she's never done anything that I haven't enjoyed. There have been things.
It's always felt like a stop-start with her.
I was gonna say it felt like a stop-start. There are definitely things where I felt like they were underbaked, where I was like, "Oh, she's doing this because they're
underbaked about Pure Fusion Collective."
Yeah, there we go. But I just feel like there's a part of it that's like she's doing what they're telling her to do, and she's doing it adequately enough. But it feels like it's not who she is. Like there's always a level of like she's playing the role. We've talked about this with certain wrestlers throughout the years, where it's like. There's things that they've done that they've been giving, and they've done it as well as they could, but they were bad ideas, or they weren't working because they didn't.
Or
match
wrong idea for wrong person.
Exactly, they didn't match the person.
You couldn't do it.
But I've never been angry at her for doing it. I've never been like, oh, this is boring. She's always been a delight to me. Like I've always enjoyed watching her.
I wish I had any of that.
Really,
I don't dislike her,
right?
But I always go like, yeah, there you are. Nothing ever hits, and maybe it's because there's been a lot of stop starts. The Pure Finger Gun Collective doesn't.
Yeah, it's a bad name.
It's a bad name, and also
I don't dislike the three of them. Even Gilbert in the chat says her faction with Shayna and Zoe seems cool. Like I like the idea of like these three kind of badasses who are like legitimately like if Rhea wasn't established, you'd throw her in there too. Like it's all these women who are just like very visually effective. Really, they're just doing finger guns.
They do finger guns all the time.
Why are they doing finger guns?
I don't know.
Are they
pure?
Wasn't that a Bullet Club thing? Or aren't they doing bullet? Is that
the guns?
Smoking guns? They're a big fan of the smoking guns?
No one is. Except for you, apparently. Because they fell in your lap or something when you were a child.
They saved my life. Quebecers just stood there and laughed at me.
Yeah, it's...
The Pure Finger Blast Collective. That's what Gilbert said. Come on.
That's a little harsh for Gilbert.
A little aggressive there, Gilbert.
You've been sucking on the little sauce there, Gilbert? You drinking?
Listen.
He's like, look, it's 5:00 somewhere. I got a YouTube talk shit.
I mean, she debuted with Absolution.
Oh, which one was that one?
They
all had the fucking.
That was the
Sarah Logan one.
Sarah Logan and Liv.
I don't know.
Fuck, I can't even remember.
They all blend in.
Yeah,
because such terrible. Fucking groups.
Didn't they try to bring up two groups simultaneously?
Yeah,
or maybe Paige brought her up. Was Paige Absolution? Let's see. Absolution.
These are all fucking colognes and perfumes.
She's the only way. Oh, no. It was Absolution. I was right. No, I wasn't right. It was Mandy because they're actual like real life close friends. And then Paige was one who introduced them. They would move on beyond Paige. It was Ruby Riott was the third member.
Yeah.
This was the era of like, we have a lot of women talent. We don't know what to do with them.
Well, we gotta get them all introduced quickly. Look, they're all individuals, but they're in a group. And
Riot Squad
you figured out
was Liv and Sarah Logan.
Wait, you just said Ruby was in.
This was Absolution, but Riot Squad. So Ruby was in both.
I can't. My brain won't retain any of this bullshit. Yeah, and this is no way a credit to her. I think it's just kind of like happy circumstance of what happened that. Sonya Deville, I think publicly had said like, look, if you didn't already know, like I'm a gay woman, and came out or just made it more publicly known.
Right.
But thankfully that didn't turn into a thing as far as on screen or character. And if it is credit to her, great. Fucking that she went like, nope. I mean, we're not doing that. But
I wonder
that it didn't ever happen. That it was, she saw that she had like the little rainbow flag handkerchief,
but it would be built into her gear that sort of Roman-y kind of
or the Jeff Hardy like I got a thing hanging out my back pocket, but I don't seemingly sweat a whole bunch or do things. But it was this is something you can know about me, but it doesn't define me.
Right.
And I think
Right.
either way, to her credit, where it's like, it's not a defining characteristic.
Oh, if it was 10 years prior, Vince would have been like, we're going to put you in a RAV4. We're going to shave your head. You're going to come out in plaid.
But all the shit that Vince has done anyway, like, it's not like he got more conservative as we've got along here. But I am always happy about that for her, that she gets to play wrestler and do whatever wrestler character stuff, but it doesn't shine a beacon on like, yeah, but you got to be this
Right.
times 10 in front of the camera.
Right. Right.
So she's I don't know, she presents herself very well, but I feel like no one ever really runs with her to make me give a shit.
I agree.
In the same way of like, I didn't give a shit about Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed was another, like, it's another big guy. Like, okay, but what's different? Because if you watch long enough, you just stop giving a shit about new people. When you're newer, and if you're a newer listener, it's like, oh, Bronson Reed's the best. Like, yeah, because he's new to you, but they started doing stuff with Bronson that was different. He started breaking out and attacking, being a wild person.
Right.
Sonya feels like she's never gotten any of those moments.
Well, it felt like they were building, and it was, I think, interrupted by what happened.
The
with
GM thing, I would say.
Because she was in the GM position.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Naomi. There was somebody who was the women's champ at the time. I'm struggling to remember the exact detail, but the idea was that it was clearly building towards that person versus Sonya, right? And Sonya was like, I'm just an objective party, but she was kind of screwing somebody over. And it felt like they were pushing her as potentially this big heel.
Right.
And it really felt like it was building towards a championship, top of the card, like, you know, and then I think the rug got pulled out from under it because of her absence and the issue. And I think it kind of like, it's
like, well, we can never pick that up again.
Right.
But you could. Yeah, that's unfortunate for her because I mean, this group is probably the best group she could be put with, whether or not they can have the feuds or it could be interesting enough and everyone can get past the name, myself included, that she can break out in somewhere to be unique, but she's clearly skilled enough. You know,
she's effective. She looks legitimate. She's not a bad wrestler.
She can talk the part.
Yes. Yeah. Which developed, which has gotten better. Like when she first started in NXT, that was the only thing I was like, underbaked again. Like, but that's the point, right? Of NXT.
Yeah. You never, it's rare that someone's going to come out the gate.
Right.
And you're like,
because
wow.
Mandy was also pretty rough. And I think the two of them like helped each other where they kind of both got better together by being themselves more on camera and like, you know, so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're kind of at time here, unless there's something else more on this page. Chat about Sonny King.
I think Sonya Deville is a good capper to it.
I don't really. The rest of the stuff, St. Louis Wrestling Club, South Bay, they're all wrestling stuff.
That's deep dives that we'd have to do. None of them
I don't even know any
ring
of
a bell for me. But I assume Jerry Jarrett owns them all.
There's Blanchard's here. Blanchard.
Careful, don't get her close to Sonya Deville.
This one's in Southeastern is Knoxville. Let's not talk about that with the election tomorrow and Kane.
But Andrea's there. We care about Andrea.
We do love Andrea. We love everybody from
Knox
Knoxville.
County.
We love everybody from
Knox County and Knoxville are different.
County. Oh, okay. But isn't Knoxville in Knox County?
Oh my God, you fucking you don't see the lines of Tennessee.
What's the difference between Tennessee and Kentucky?
Do you think the city of Orange is in Orange County? Because it is.
The city of Orange, Virginia.
So boom, showed you. Confused matters more.
Well, that'll do it for the encyclopedia.
We're picking a new champion because there's no bias here.
No, we're doing it next week.
Holy Lord, he's running with it.
Even Gil was like, "You could do it." No, I don't want to. You want to why? Because I want to give some time. Because also, the episodes that we've recorded today don't come out today, so we're gonna run through two champions well before real time. This is like back when WWE pre-taped everything, and there would be like 3 championship title changes before the first one fucking aired.
And then sometimes they used to just put a title on someone to get reactions.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Hey, Luger's wearing the title. What the fuck is this?
So we're gonna let these air, and then we will pick our champion for November. So next week, if you're listening to this, you know,
if I'm even alive by then.
Don't say that, Scott, because if like something horrible happens unrelated to anything else, if you just get into a car accident, I'm going to have to fucking address that, and they're going to think I murdered you.
Yeah, because I don't like you speaking on behalf of me, so that's a real conundrum for you.
There was something the other day, fuck, I wish I remember the fine details where Alexandra was like reading something about something I was taking, and she was like, "Oh yeah, if you take too many of these, or it was something medication, or they're like, oh yeah, it could be really poisonous." And
how many medications do you take to not remember?
I don't remember. It was clearly I didn't take them today. That's the problem. I would remember.
Ginkgo biloba.
And she was not as concerned with the fact that I almost died as much as people won't believe that I didn't kill you. She was like, nobody's gonna believe me.
Okay.
That if you die of poison, if like you have some sort of thing that you ate something and died, people, I'm not gonna beat that. Like I'm gonna go to prison.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't like you.
Oh,
is this why I came up here today? So that way she could have an alibi?
Gilbert Short just out of nowhere says, wait a minute, is my retribution name spelled with an A at the end of the word? I always thought it was an O. I've told you multiple times that your name is spelt wrong in your Discord. It's Goliathon. Goliathon.
I mean, you guys have enough pillow talk.
Like a marathon
by this point.
Like Goliathon. Isn't Goliathon like the word Goliathon? That's not Gil. Isn't it spelt with an A at the end? Have I been spelling this wrong the whole time?
A thon is in a marathon?
No, like a Goliathon. Goliathon. Let's see. Goliathon.
Yeah, Goliathon is not a word.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
A Goliath?
Goliathon is spelt with an O. Oh, look at that. I never knew. Goliathon. And then also marathon is also spelled with an L. That's a good point. Listen, if I was smarter, I'd be more richer.
And
I'd
also be
gooder English. Speaking of being richer, please,
I'll have you know.
Please have one.
In our in the list of where I do all this and where we talk about the names and spell it. Yeah, it's a fucking O.
Okay, so I probably just spelled it wrong on today's thing. Here, you know what, you dicks? How about this?
Goliathon. Oh, he took
No, I didn't.
took
my
my truth away.
No, I didn't. There you go. Boom. There you go. How's that? Now oh man, it's screwed up. Boom. Goliathon. You happy? Now it's spelled right on the screen.
No, I'm surprised you just didn't choose a new champion right now. Guys, don't fight. I hate it when mom and dad fight.
Okay, there we go. I spelled that wrong too. But Face. It's another maximum male model name accidentally.
Boy, I tell you, from the time that you could put in a name in video games of like enter your name
right.
or any sort of game where they're going to refer to you as your name throughout the entire adventure or anything like that. Ever since I heard the name Joey Buttafuoco, for the longest time, and if it could fit in there, I'd find some way to abbreviate it, but my name was Buttafuoco. Boy, did that make me fucking laugh.
So one of my childhood best friends was a Buttafuoco.
Really?
Yeah. There was the family of Buttafuocos that lived like 2 houses down. And so that was a name I was very familiar with. And it wasn't until the popularity of Joey Buttafuoco that people started like, you would hear like Jay Leno make a joke about the name that I realized it's kind of a funny name.
Oh my God. It's the fucking funniest name on the planet. There is no funnier name than Buttafuoco. And then I didn't know of any other ones. It was always just Joey Buttafuoco.
Right. Yeah. Oh. It's a pretty great name. That's a pretty fantastic
great name.
Sorry to all the Buttafuocos out there.
Not me.
But
keep living, keep breeding. And don't do no hyphens for loved ones that are like, I don't know. I don't really want your last name. No, that's what we get. That's what the guys get. We get to destroy your family's last name.
There you go. So speaking of,
is it 2 C's?
I don't know. I put 2 C's in butt face, so I thought I would just keep the 2 C's going.
Okay.
This is falling off the rails, but this is why you have to join us live, because it's fun to watch all the silly shit that we do on screen, because we're stupid idiots and we love you. And we hope that you enjoy hanging out with us. And if you haven't checked out the live streams, you're really missing out. Please consider becoming a patron. Your support goes a really long way. For just a few bucks a month, you get access to a ton of fantastic shows, all old episodes of audio, video. There's so much shit, and obviously access to the live stream.
And trying to make stuff evergreen too. So like our watch along series where there's a whole bunch, and we have a bunch that are audio only, and now we have more that are video, and we're planning on doing more with that where they're video. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I have time to find the match and listen to it, or sometimes you just want to listen to it, but we are syncing it up so you can actually watch the match as we're watching the match. So it's all in-house. It's all right there. So you can check it out all at once.
Absolutely. With that said, we have to thank our current Patreon Palski, Scott Narver.
Yes, the only show that hands out retribution names as well as maximum male model names.
For now.
That will be changed in the future. So if you don't have one of these names, we're going to get it to you by the end of the year. And there'll be some change-ups. Because fucking those guys are actually still trying to make money off of this. That's what we're trying to do with the maximum male model name. See? Got me all Tamina E. So thank you to AJ0314, aka Binary, aka Matrice69, Alex Pierce, aka Figs, aka Zatoys, Andrew Beeler, aka Pollen Hate, aka Achu Detest, Curtis Mason, aka Hurtis, aka Auche, Gilbert Short, aka Goliathon, spell it however you want, aka Batal Underoos, aka the current PWP champ, Mass Llama, aka Spitz, aka Jakara Laver, Michael Beltran, aka Limestone, aka La Natural, Mike Lucas, aka Hackensack, aka Luger Testicle, Suicide, aka Je ne sais who, Tim Redbeard, aka Bloodfuzz, aka Blutifuse, Tom Hader, aka Cupid, aka Cherub, and Tony Griggs, aka Big Griggs, aka Grand Grisois.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the show. We could not, would not, should not do this without you. Hope you had fun today. We will see you next week where we will choose our November champion. So make sure you are a championship level Palski before next week's episode.
And watch-alongs are coming back.
And watch-alongs will be back. Still working out the video portion of them. In the new space, so it'll be audio only for another week too. But we're sorting it out.
And we got a theme. We got a theme.
Oh, for November?
Yeah, we sure do.
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even know what it is yet in the time that we recorded this. Well, there we have it. Do all the stuff. Check out the shop.
You want to know?
No. Let's save it.
And you're not gonna fucking
They
know.
got to become patrons in order to know.
All right.
Check out the shop. Snag yourself some sweet PWP merchandise like this lovely hat that I'm wearing. You can also find shirts and hoodies and mugs,
phone
and phone
cases.
cases. There's all sorts of great stuff there.
And the holidays are coming
at the
up.
shop. That's true.
So
Put stuff on your wish list.
yeah, tell people that, if you like, hey, I want this. It helps support these guys. And, I'd like this item.
The hoodies. Wait, where's my hoodie? I got a hoodie right here.
It's back on in your printer.
These hoodies are super nice, really good, high quality, fantastic prints. All the designs are gorgeous. When I tell you that these are cozy, look at the inside of that. Come on. That is cozy.
Look at that. Not one stray bee in there.
Stray bee?
Yeah.
Where
Did you ever buy a hoodie like from a Goodwill or something and it's full of bees? Not one fucking bee in there.
You know what? I'm going to do something strange here, and I am going to guarantee, full money back guarantee, that you will never get a hoodie with a bee in it. On top of that, if you do find a hoodie with a bee in it, we will give you $100.
Now, I'm going to warn you right now, Jake. Do not make any Dragon Wagon or Pro Wrestling Palski bonnets.
No?
There is likely to be a bee
Tons
in
of
that
bees
bonnet.
in those bonnets. Alrighty. I think we
Stupid
did it.
enough for you, everybody?
I think we did it.
Did we hit the limit?
We hit the limit. Hey, call the hotline, 747-666-5606, or send a voice memo to hotline at pwpalskis.com, and we will play those on air.
And we're going to fill up the holiday episodes of canned things
that's right.
so we can take a break.
Yeah, we just
We
came
had
back.
2 in a row.
We just came back, and now it's going to be the holidays, so listen, we need to
we need to
pump the fucking brakes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Pull the emergency brake, too.
All right, that'll do it. We love you guys. We hope you had fun on behalf of Scott Narver and Jakey Lloyd Bakey. It is always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis. Bye, everybody.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.